TIFU by destroying a man's 10-year streak of alcohol sobriety. I work as a waitress at a pretty busy venue. This evening we were chock-a-block busy for a solid couple of hours. In my section, I had a table of 6 gentlemen who were all mutual friends. One gentleman in particular ordered a Peroni Libera, the non-alcoholic beer, with his meal. Later on that evening the same man asked for another Peroni, so I sent another through on my little electronic ordering system, not realizing that this was the man who ordered the non-alcoholic one before. I reckon about 30 to 40 minutes passed before the man came up to the front desk to talk to me. He starts to tell me that he was given the wrong beer, and I came to the realization he actually wanted the non-alcoholic one. He then proceeded to inform me that he hasn't had a drink for 10 years, but now that's all gone to shit because I put through the wrong one. He became quite angry and he got very heated. I just felt a wave of shame and embarrassment wash over me as I continuously apologized. I explained to him that it had been so busy and I should have double-checked his order, but it had really been an honest mistake. Even the man himself admitted he didn't check the label himself. I felt so terrible, and it didn't help either that the man had an Eastern European accent, so it felt like I was getting grilled by Putin. In the end, I ended up having a panic attack in front of all my work colleagues and everyone else in the venue, eating due to the immense guilt I felt. And am still feeling right now lol. TLDR. Accidentally ordered an alcoholic beer instead of a non-alcoholic beer for a customer, who ended up drinking it, and in turn I aided in destroying his 10 years of sobriety. Hi, alcoholic in recovery here. I once was at a wedding with an open bar and the guys were asking me what I wanted. This was early in my recovery and they always knew me as someone who drank a lot. Alcoholism runs in my family, so no one was expecting that I'd just say regular Coke. Anyhow, they did end up ordering me the regular Coke but mixed it up with someone else's rum and Coke. I took a sip and quickly realized what happened. I wasn't upset with anyone BC, it was a simple mistake, and after talking with another friend in recovery, she assured me that did not restart my sober time as it was an accident and I had no idea. I didn't keep drinking it either. We all went about our normal business and enjoyed the wedding to the fullest. Mistakes happen in. That was not your fault by any means. He could have checked the bottle himself and he overreacted. A simple, "Hey, you might want to double check next time," would have sufficed. If he took a sip then stopped after realizing it was alcohol, he got a free lapse and should just talk about it in a meeting. If he kept drinking it, that was on him and is in no way your fault. My dad is 30 years sober and drinks non-alcoholic beer because he likes the taste of beer. Something I've never been able to understand. Lol. A couple years ago, he accidentally bought a case of real Heineken, thinking it was their NA version. He took one sip, realized it was the real thing, and didn't drink a single drop more. He gave the rest to my mom, who spent the next month working her way through it. My dad took responsibility for buying the wrong thing, shrugged it off, and continued on with his sobriety. He didn't call the distributor screaming that they sold him the wrong thing. He just blamed himself. You did nothing wrong. He is responsible for his sobriety, not you. I mean, I am pregnant and order NA beer often. I always check. The man needs to take some responsibility. Also, one sip would not ruin his sobriety. It's not like that one sip is going to make him go crazy and start chugging liquor. He needs to get over himself. But yeah, lesson learned lol. Check next time. I'm sure you will, haha. I know you feel bad, but it really isn't your fault. 1. He should have specified he wanted another Peroni Libera, instead of half-assing it and assuming. You would have the time to check or remember which one he had ordered before. 2. He definitely should have checked the label if he's been doing this for 10 years. It was an honest mistake, and if he had really wanted to protect his sobriety, he would have double-checked or, not drank the beer, as he should definitely have been able to smell it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Mistakes happen. Lesson learned. You should have checked. Equally, he should have checked. Getting angry with you isn't gonna solve the issue. Guy in recovery here. That guy's a douchebag. We call that a freebie. He's fine. He knew the second he took a sip that it had alcohol in it. If you've been sober for 10 years and you take a sip of an alcoholic beverage because of a simple mistake, it doesn't erase that 10 years. If you stop immediately, it actually shows how much stronger you are and how far you've come. If he kept drinking it, it's his fault because he knew immediately that it had alcohol and still drank it. Then he felt ashamed afterward and unfortunately took it out on you, which is not fair. Don't feel bad, you made a simple mistake. It's on him to check the label as well, and especially check the taste. He purposely drank, then blamed you because he knows how bad he effed up, which shows even after 10 years he still wasn't strong enough to not drink because he had the excuse of, oh, well, the waitress gave me the wrong beer. Don't beat yourself up over it. You did not ruin his 10 years of sobriety. He did. Hang in there, 'cause I can tell you're a good person and this is still going to bother you a lot. This guy had probably been looking for any excuse to relapse anyway, unfortunately. Try not to worry about it too much. I know it's tough, but this too shall pass, and please know you did not ruin that man's life. Take care. Wish you the best. I'm a little questionable on an alcoholic ordering a non-alcoholic beer actually. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic, but that seems like dancing around. I'll just put in the tip. If you're serious about shit, stay away from it entirely. There's a saying in the program. If you don't want to slip, don't hang out in slippery places. Dude was hanging out in a slippery place. If he wanted alcohol-free, he should have stated alcohol-free and double-checked the bottle. You gave him what asked for. Unless mind reading has become a new requirement in the service industry, you did nothing wrong. I blame him. A man with 10 years of sobriety should be aware of these kinds of mistakes. It is his responsibility to check a label, especially when ordering non-alcoholic beer and others in the party or having alcohol. Dude is already living on the edge of sobriety by ordering non-alcoholic beer. If you have an addiction, it's usually best to avoid all of the triggers fully if you have a fear of relapse. I've struggled with alcoholism for over 20 years. Do not beat yourself up over it. It is not your responsibility for his problem. It's not the wrong meds. You didn't serve peanuts to someone allergic. The issue is his cross to bear and his alone. One Peroni at 4% alcohol is not going to send him into a spin with 10 years of sobriety. And nor will it send him into the path of another car on the drive home. Take a breath. It is nice that you are concerned and that you care, but it's not on you. I've never waited tables, but in my eyes you didn't fuck up. If he ordered specifically a Peroni Libre the second time and you gave him a regular, then you fucked up. Another Peroni isn't sufficient emo. Always tell the waiter, waitress exactly what you want, especially if it's a case like this. Alcoholic here. Did he really use the term, gone to shit? 10 years gone to shit? What a moron. He had 10 years of probably a much better life. A beer doesn't change that. Even if he intentionally drank a beer, that does not negate 10 years of sobriety. Don't feel bad. Sobriety isn't a goddamn contest. I've been sober for 18 years and 2 days. 1. I'd know from the label that the beer isn't non-alcoholic. 2. I'd know in the first swig that the beer isn't non-alcoholic. 3. I am 100% responsible for my sobriety. Finally, I learned early on that non-alcoholic beer is for non-alcoholics. Alcoholic in recovery and 20 years restaurant veteran here. This dude fucked up. Mistakes happen. If you are an alcoholic in a place where they serve alcohol regularly, you need to watch out for yourself. It's not a stranger's job to keep you sober. If you order a NA drink, you need to double-check the label or double-check with the server before you start drinking it. My husband asks for his NA beer to be brought to him still in the bottle. He knows it's his responsibility to make sure he's drinking the right one. Your guy was just being a total asshat and I wouldn't give it another thought. You made an honest mistake. It wasn't like you were in the back of the house figuring out how you can make the guy fall off the wagon. WTF is wrong with some people who can't accept responsibility for their own actions. He should have checked the damn label. Alcoholic here. You are absolutely not the asshole. This guy sounds like he is struggling and looking for someone to blame. If accidentally taking a few sips of beer is enough to destroy his sobriety, it was hanging by a thread already, and no reasonable person would tell him to start over counting his sober days.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.